30 years ago, Floyd Henderson was part of music history.
VH1 is putting together a tribute at the Apollo.
The real deal is back.
Now, there's only one thing standing in the way of a comeback. His former partner.
How are you, Mr. Malcolm?
I'm very well. Yourself?
Wonderfully blessed as always. Thank you. And so are you.
I am. You're absolutely right.
Now, how did you get involved with it? What's the genesis? Tell me the genesis.
Well, you know, I was finishing out my movie, Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, and I kept on hearing about this script, you know, about the two soul singers. My producing partner, Charles Castaldi, said, well, I think it's a funny script, you really like it. Then I heard Sam and Bernie got attached, and then, you know, I said, well, you know, it's interesting. And then Bob Weinstein from Dimension came and approached me and said, look, I really want you to do this movie. You should please read this script, check it out. So I did. It was very funny. It had Sam and Bernie's voices all throughout. It was an homage to soul music, which I love, and you know, I've been a great fan of for a number of years, and try to include a great soul, 1 or 2 for 8 soul songs in my previous films. So to have the opportunity to do it and be involved with these two giants, you know, I had to hop on it. So I did, and I met with Sam and Bernie and the powers that be, and we got it rolling.
Be careful, fool. I think you don't even know how to hold a gun.
Yeah, they both have a different take on the way they take a role.
Yeah, they have different approaches. You know, Bernie is very much, you know, the improvisationalist. You know, the one that's you know, off the top of his head and wants to make it all fresh all the time. And Sam is very much, you know, methodical and about, you know, and does things by rote and says, okay, I want to. This is how my character's going to be, and this is how I'm going to be, and that worked very well for their characters because it created a great tension between them, and they got to play those parts very well because that was them.
Right.
You know, and so and out of that great tension came a lot of comedy.
What's that?
We're gonna be at the Apollo this weekend. We ain't been on stage in over 30 years.
We look good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the unforgettable sounds of the real deal.
Did you do any research when making the movie?
Plenty of research about Stax music and about, you know, the clothes, the era, the genesis of how Stax music came about, the kinds of steps they were doing, the kinds of music they were doing. It was a great time to do a lot of research because there's a wealth of music in the Stax library that just, you know, it needs to be unearthed. It needs to be rediscovered by people because it's great music.
You know, my favorite scene was right in the very beginning. That anthology of their
the montage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, you had to establish an era. You know, you had or several eras of music, so that you could, you know, say, okay, here's the history that they came from, and this is where they are now. And you know, that was a challenge. You know, between myself and my storyboard artist, we really said, okay, what are the touchstones of each era that we can really, you know, point to? And it was a much longer sequence that I had envisioned, but you know, budgetary constraints, you know, made it shrink it down. Well, we don't have any more. We never got to shoot it.
I think you're going steadily up in your quality as a director. You know, it's an improvement. So, what defines success as a director for you, Mr. Malcolm?
You know, for me, I just try to make the best movie I can. You know, for that particular time or genre or the material. You know, if I feel like I've delivered, you know, a successful or a satisfying film to an audience, then I've done my job. You know, the rest is all about, you know, marketability and I know if the movie plays, if the movie has playability, I've done my job. You know, if people are laughing or they're emoting in some way, then I've done exactly what I set out to do.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Soul Men.
Good night.
No, hey, what's that? You been taking the pills again?
I thought it was my cholesterol mess. I swear I did.
You can't be spooning with that. What's wrong with you?